right, guys, welcome to Fort Mort. Today I'm excited. Really excited. So the opponent I got, this is fourth round of GA. I'm getting ready to set up for my Grand Arena opponent. And it seems that the algorithm matches us up against opponents that are doing well as well. So first round was simple for me. It was a cakewalk. Second round was fairly simple. I didn't have to do too much homework, even though I always do. Third round was very competitive. But this fourth round, I am very low GP compared to everybody else. So I'll give a quick rundown there. See, I'm at 1.8. These guys are 2.2. Let's see, 2.1. 2.1. My current opponent right here, 2.2. 1.9, so slightly higher than me. 2.1. Again, I'm 1.8, and then 1.9. So I'm definitely in a class that's above. I'm playing above my weight for sure. I feel like Muhammad Ali here. So feeling pretty good, but at the same time, I don't want to lose my perfect streak either. So this fourth round is always the toughest one. Since they reset GA, this is our third Grand Arena. So it basically seems like it's a monthly type thing. So anyway, excuse me, Bendak Star Killer is my opponent. And the way I started out basically is I go in and I compare their stats according to mine. So I go into mine, we'll go over mine real fast. So I've got, basically what it comes down to is your championship promotions earned. So as you go through, obviously Kyber's the fourth promotion. I've made every promotion. So far I'm 11 for 11. But when I make Kyber, which I'm only like 4,000 away, so no matter what happens to me, I'm still gonna make it. But again, I don't want to lose my streak. So 11 out of 12 so far, 11 out of 11. Going into today, I've got 197 battles won, the potential out of 231. So I'm doing really well there. Defense, 120 total out of 231. I feel like that's pretty good. I'm almost 50% defense. I mean, that's pretty solid. It means I'm planning well. Championship banners earned, that's a lot impossible to calculate because as you guys know, you get 60 points for a perfect protection, 64 if you go in undersized, etc. And then you've got the other banners that go with that. You got the ship banners, and then you have the banners for clearing an area. So if you only clear half an area, you don't get those banners. So it's impossible to calculate. But pound for pound, you can see how you do versus your opponent. So this opponent, which you'll see in a minute, has got like 43,000 compared to my 49. So championship full rounds cleared 27. Excuse me. I've gotten 27 out of 33. So basically, there's been the first GA was 12, the second one was 12, and then this one so far we've had 9 rounds in this one. So that's a total of 33 so far. So I've fully cleared my opponent 27 out of 33. Championship undersized squad wins. I don't go for these very often. I had one opponent that had almost 100, which was crazy. He had a 3 relic Yoda that I'm assuming he was using to basically undersize win every GA, which is silly to me. There's no planning to that. But also I made sure to defend against him well, so he didn't get a freebie against me too. I've got Nest about halfway to 7-star now. I'm about 55 out of 100, so I've almost got him there. And I got him 1 mod away from G12, so I'm looking forward to that. I usually get my undersized when they lay an Ewok squad or something like that with mine. So in that case, I'll take advantage of it, and I'll even throw in a Farm Boy as his lead. I don't have Kira, which Kira is the best one, but I don't have her built up, so I don't bother. Championship territories defeated, 122. There's potentially 132 of those. So if you multiply the math and you get, I forget what the exact math was, but I did just before this, but I've got 122 defeated out of 132. So, and then championship best score earned, my best so far is 32,084. That was last GA. Looks like I'm gonna shatter that this time. And then championship best rank achieved. So there's another thing you can see as well. So like I've gotten Kyber and ranked 1,399 in the global rank of Division 3. So you can see that from your opponent. So we'll go over and look at my guy right now. Let's see here, Bendak. I got a cold, guys. I'm sorry if I'm clearing my throat a lot. Championship promotions earned. So he had 957. Actually, I'm going to show you this guy's screen. I got a comparison screen I put together. So we'll put this right here. So you see comparison wise, I've got 197 battles won to his 157. And then successful defends 120 to 105. And then banners earned, I got about 6,000 more. Basically because I've got more areas cleared. Full rounds cleared. He's done 16. I've done 27. So this guy is a little bit more defensive than I am, but he's also got some really good squads. One of them being that he undersizes quite a bit. He's got 31 undersized squad wins. So he's taking advantage of people putting up weak teams. All right. And then championship territories defeated. He's got 94. So he's comparable to me. But like I said, the big one for this is he's got, let me bring this screen back up. He's got a much higher GP. Then the other thing I'll do, pardon me while you guys know I like my whiskey. Keeps me talking slower. All right. He's got a nice Padme team and they're fast. Everybody on the team's over 200. I can beat a Padme with my bugs, but they can't be very fast. In this case, I don't think I can take this Padme team with anything that I have. The best shot that I have is Nest, but he's not 7-star if I bring him in with something. So if this guy ends up defending with Padme, I may or may not be able to break through that wall. And that's my biggest concern. I've got a bunch of teams, but he's got some other good ones. He's got a Night Sister team about 82,000. He's got I don't normally do this much homework, but this guy's tough. His Night Sister's about 82,000, so I can take him out with my troopers, no problem. Bastia's 85,000. He's got no Jedi Knight Raven. He's got, doesn't have a Wampa, doesn't have a Jedi Knight Raven, doesn't have a Darth Revan, does not have a Jedi Rey. So he doesn't have any of the big ones other than Padme, but he's got quite the Padme team and the Sith team. And that Count Dooku you see right there is a 21.5 Dooku, and he's fast, super fast. He's got 237. I'm assuming that's who he's soloing people with undersized squads. Probably taking a couple of Sith in with him and then just dominating somebody with him. His other Sith squad, I think, is Palpatine. His Palp is doesn't look like it on the screen, but he's 103,000. He's not really fast. So anyway, here's what I do when I go through my guys. I make sure to order them by power. Then I go through and I look at the top 60. So right here we got 3, 6, 9, 10. So his 60th opponent or 60th character is about 14,000. In comparison, mine is about the same, about 13,968, I believe. So we're top 60. We are in comparison. Now, with my top 60, I utilize 54 of my 60 in almost all grand arenas. The other 6 are usually spare teams, cleanup, etc. So I know that the majority of mine are in there. His don't look like they're all in there. His are going to be, some of them are lower. He's got some clone troopers that his entire clone trooper team with synergy would be about 65,000. He's got Ewoks that are in there, and their total was like 68,000. So I have a little bit of an advantage there, but again, that Padme block may hurt. And then I'll look at speed. Speed, like I said, his Dooku is the fastest one. Then if you look, he's got Jedi Knight Anakin, Padme, who's the other one? General Kenobi, and Yoda on his arena team. I don't know that he's using that Yoda in that Padme team, but on his arena team, that's what he's got. And that arena team's in the top 350. So it's a pretty good team because it's fast. And as you know, it's hard to get that protection off of Padme and the rest of that team. Okay, and then when I look at the speed, I also do the same thing here. I'll go through the top 60, because that's how many opponents that we place. 30 on defense, 30 on offense. And that is their 60th person, and their speed is 168. My 60th person is 166. So they have modded well. I didn't notice any bumps on their mods or any slicing, except for in their upper echelon. Let me get back up here and see what I'm talking about. So you can see their upper echelon there has got the slicing, but I don't slice mine down there either. But they are slightly faster than me. So I'm a little bit more powerful and they're just slightly faster than I am. I have better synergy, I think, though. My teams are synergized very well. Let's see what else. So after I sort through those, I kind of get an idea where we're sitting. And then I'll go over to ships. So I'm looking at the ships, and his rank is 623 in comparison to mine. I'm always in the top 50, top 60, really. I don't spend a whole lot of time on ship battles, so I but I never go below 65. I looked at his ships, and I'll go through, and again, I will power. And when I look at power, his top ship, which is, I've never seen this before, Evan Hawk with 54,000, mine is 60,000 with a tie silencer. My tie silencer I know is fast too because I looked at it. He's got 48,000, so mine's 12,000 higher than that. But anyway, long story short, his best capital ship is only 40,000. Mine's in the 50s somewhere. So I added this up. This entire team, if he used these guys, which don't synergize well, is 350,000. So I have one advantage. I'm going to put my best team on defense, and he cannot take it down. I don't care how many squads he uses because he does not have a good capital ship. His next ship is 36,000. And then after that, he's got 33,000. He's got a terrible ship squad. Did not take care of it whatsoever. So that's a huge advantage for me. Well, I'll get into that more in a minute, how I'm going to set up on my defense to take advantage of that. Let's see. There's a new bot search, guys. It's not working right now, I think because of the holiday. But I do want to show you guys that here in just a second. Let me put my logo up while I change screens. So if you guys use Discord, which I know my guild does, that's really all I'm catering these videos to right now. We have, thanks to one of our guild partners who done it, he found a search bot. All right, bring that back up. He found a search bot on here, glasses on, that basically you can research your GA opponent, which is really cool. So by putting comma, GA, and then me, ME, and then your opponent's, you'll see it right here, your opponent's number in, it'll bring up that opponent's stats. So I apologize, this is yesterday's for whatever reason, because the holiday, they're saying I'm like in queue for like 1,200 queues. So I'm a mile behind, but I just want to give you a rundown and show you what it does. So it's basically me versus them. So GA rank, I'm 1,019. My opponent's 5,300. I ended up beating up on this guy pretty good. He did a good job. He put up 1,400 against me, but lifetime 89K, 73 offensive wins. So this is basically the stats I was just showing you on the blue screen, but it goes even into more detail. So you can look at, where's the roster? Let me get the pen. Here we go. So you can set up a list of the characters that you want to see if they have them or not. So right here it shows that I've got a 24K Jedi Knight Rev and he's got a 27K. And again, this isn't the opponent I'm doing right now. This is yesterday's opponent. Rarity, gear, Zeta, speed, etc. And then Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Darth Traya, and then Bosk. So in this case, he didn't have Traya, Malak, or Revan, and neither do I. Commander Luke Skywalker, I've got a 19K. He's got a 19K. We're really close on that one. Edifice Nest, I had a 17K versus 9K. I actually put my Ewoks on defense, which I don't normally do because his nest was so low, I wasn't concerned about it. His nest tears the Ewoks apart. And I had a good place where I could put them guys to defend, so it worked out really well. And then Bosk right here. So like I said, you can add Wampa to that. I actually added more people to this since this happened. So I've got a big list. There's a list of commands. GAA, add characters to your GA custom list. So that basically, you hit GAA and then type that like Edifice Nest in, it'll add this to that list. All right, so pretty cool. And again, it's another nice additive to researching your opponent. All right, what do we got next? Let's see. So now I got to decide on who I'm going to put on defense. And as I'm looking at it, I had a really hard time on this opponent. Normally, I wouldn't take this much time, but being that I've got such a good record, I don't want to lose that record. All right. So let's go to the board here. And again, I'm going to have all the opponents I'm going to face these three matches or this round, too far back here, are going to be well above me. So, I mean, 400K, that's 17-18% higher than I am. So basically what my plan for this is, this in the ship spot, there's no way this guy can beat me. I mean, he's going to have to manually play it. He's going to have to run through all of his ships, and he does. More power to him, but he still has to set one on defense, and I'm assuming he's going to set a good one on defense. So That's going to take away. But my second can take out his first. So I already know I can get this rear area. My only worry is that he sets Padme right here, and I can't get through. So I've got enough teams, side teams, to be able to try and get through that, and I'll try. But what I'm thinking is, this guy over here, I'm going to set my ship up here. He can't get through. I'm actually going to hand him this first area. Let him fight through that. I'm not going to make it easy. I'm going to put some 75K teams down there. And then I'm going to defend heavily here with my first order and my bounty hunters. And in the rear, I'm going to put my Padme, which is about 80K, and my Night Sister, which is like 73K. And again, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Night Sisters on defense for two reasons. Night Sisters pull life out below protection, plus they're an annoyance to beat. You can't auto play Night Sisters with most teams, so they're a hassle in that manner. And then the other reason being, I don't like having them on offense because immediately they start dying, which means they don't have protection. So they're dropping off 55 points. Next. All right, so I'm going to start laying defense here. So I'm going to start out with my best ship squad. Like I said, my second team could take their first team, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever. Now, here's a tip I'd give you guys too, if you can keep them alive. I like Houndstooth up front. I see some people bring it from the backside. I like Slave in there. Slave's AoE burst after 3 turns is huge. If you can keep him alive long enough. TIE Silencer, I have him up front. He gets advantage when he comes out from the backside, but I like my other bounty hunters to come out. And so I'm laying this bounty hunter right here. I just got 7-star today. Thank goodness. So I'll be getting my Millennium Falcon 7-star next round. And then I'll lay the rest of the defense. Try that again. All right, so I got a 402K squad. There's no way he can beat it. So that's the one confident play I'm playing right now. No doubt. One of the concerns I have is I'm trying to remember his team. He's got that 103K palp. So he's going to be coming at me. I'm thinking offensively with that palp, and he's going to have to use it to take out my first order. And then he's going to have to probably use his 92 CLS to take out my bounty hunters, I'm thinking. He's got a high bounty hunter team, if I remember right, too. I actually need to go back and look at that real fast. Like I said, this is one of the tougher opponents I've had yet. Thing is, he does not have a high Bosk. I do remember that. His Bosk is only 5 stars and at 13,000, so he's behind the curve on that one. Another reason why I know I'm so sure that he cannot stop my ships. So 17,000 to 14,000, so about a 16,000 average. So you're looking at about an 80,000 bounty hunter team. So he's definitely not taking down the bounty hunters with a bounty hunter. He's more than likely going to have to use that CLS. That leaves him with an 85 Bastia. I don't know if he can even take out my whole side, but we're going to find out. So if he goes full offensive, I'm going to tear him apart. I just don't know that he's going to, according to his statistics, or her statistics, whatever it may be. So right here, like I said, I'm going to kind of just give him this area. Because these are teams I usually put on defense anyway, which are my Phoenix. And my Phoenix are fairly fast. They're not a great team, but they got a Zedon cannon. Fairly fast. And this droid team, which is my next project, I'm going to put up here as well. It's a little bit of a nuisance, but it's not impossible to beat. It's not the droid teams you see out there. I don't have Droideka and B1 and all that yet, but they're not easy to beat. But I want to save this squad right here, potentially to take out Padme, or at least put some hurt in her, because Nest, if I can keep Nest guarded for a little bit and get him built up and powered up, I can take out 1 or 2 of them characters. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping he goes offensive. So anyway, basically I'm giving him that area. So right now, this is a gimme. Maybe he has to play above his means, I don't know. And then
for sure, I'm putting the first order up front to force them to play. A lot of times I put the first order in the rear, but I don't want to give them the free pass unless they go full offensive. I always, for whatever reason, I put Nine Sisters back here because they're a pest. And this is the decision I've been bouncing back and forth. Who to put here and here. Like I said, they are not going to beat me here. They're going to have to fight to get through here. I'm giving them this, which is not really a gimme. They still got to use some decent teams to beat them. So I'm thinking that I want to do the Bounty Hunter and Padme just to make it a little more difficult. So my Padme is not very high. That's what I got left. I got my bugs, which I thought about putting them on defense, but I'm thinking I want them on offense because I need to get to that ship level. If I can get to that ship level, I know I can take him out. It's a guaranteed win for me. So I think Jedi Knight Revan might be enough to get me through that Padme. If not, I can finish him off with the bugs. So I'm utilizing either the Bounty Hunter. I love my CLS on offense because the first shot. I like my Empire because Tarkin is super fast on my team and it allows me to get turn meter quicker. And just even Empire teams, I took out I'm a 79, they were at 86, and I took one out, a mirror match basically, because I was faster. So, and Tarkin's reign takes away turn meter. So, let's see. So I'm thinking Padme, and here's their Night Sister killer. They have a Night Sister team I'm going to take out. I got Ewoks available, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 potential teams for offense. So I need to lay 2 on D. What do we say? I'm going to make them work for it. I'm going to put the Bounty Hunters up front. Force them to take them out, maybe with their Palp team. And then I'm going to put a always plays above her level Padme in the rear. Double check that. So I've got offense, bugs, Revan, CLS, Empire, Nest, Night Sister Killer Troopers, and Ewoks. So potentially I've got 6 teams plus Nest. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'll be 7 total. I'm gonna go ahead and put Padme back there. She's a bit of a pest to take down as well. So I'm hoping that this plan, I don't think it will stop them back here with Padme or the Night Sisters. If not, they're going to get 3 areas. And if they do get 3 areas, more than likely, I'm going to be able to bust that line. And I'll be able to get these 3 right here. And then probably 1 in the rear and hopefully sweep them. So we'll see. So anyway, one other note I want to throw in there. You guys may have noticed, and I mean, it sounds like it's common sense, but let me pull my teams back up there. You'll notice that my top 12 teams are the ones that I utilize. So, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So those 12 teams right there are the ones I utilize. And my account's loaded, so I've got some other teams here. Don't underestimate the Jawas. They're nice to take one guy out. But anyway, I've got 12 squads. I always use my top 12. They're all synergized for the most part. I don't normally break my teams up. I've seen some guys you have to use Thrawn in order to fracture to save some. I haven't run into that yet. I thought about it this round because my opponent is much higher. But anyway, I'll wrap it up right there. And I will continue the video tomorrow after I do the actual battles, hopefully with a big win. 34-0. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.
Shut up and sit down. and sit down.